We live in a world where everyone is eager to talk, to share their plans, and to announce their ambitions. But today I want to challenge that mindset. Never tell people what you do, and let your actions speak louder than your words. You see, most people are quick to boast about their plans or the things they are about to do, but the reality is, when you reveal your plans to others, you risk inviting unnecessary interference or criticism. People may not understand your vision, they may not see the value in what you are trying to build, and often their doubts will reflect onto you. But here's the secret: the fewer people know your plans, the fewer distractions you'll face. Focus becomes sharper when your intentions remain your own. God has designed you for greatness, and He has placed within you a unique purpose. But purpose requires preparation, and preparation requires focus. When you are building something great, whether it's a business, a ministry, or a personal transformation, the last thing you need is the opinions of others clouding your mind. Understand this: silence is not a sign of weakness. It is a tool of strength. Consider the seeds that are planted in the earth. They don't announce their arrival to the world. They are buried in the ground, hidden from sight. But they begin to grow, form roots, and reach upwards. The moment the seed breaks through the soil, it is ready to bear fruit. In the same way, you must nurture your dreams in silence. Your growth should be rooted in the strength of your vision, not in the validation of others. There is a level of power that comes when you let your results speak for themselves. People will see what you have done and begin to ask, how did you accomplish that? At that point, you can share your story. But until then, protect your vision with silence and patience. Your journey should not be a public spectacle. It should be a quiet and steady progression toward greatness. Keep moving forward with diligence, with integrity, and with purpose. Too often, we share our dreams too soon with the wrong people, seeking validation and approval. But validation should come from within, from your belief in yourself and your trust in the process. The world does not need to know what you are doing until it is time to reveal it. And even then, it should be a revelation, not an explanation. So, revelation does not need to be true. Validation and the support of others. Remember, it is better to surprise people with the results of your hard work than to boast about what you plan to do. Let your life be the proof of your vision. Let the fruit of your labor speak for you. The greatest leaders in history were not those who constantly announced their plans, but those who remained focused, committed, and determined. They did the work, and their results became their testimony. So, as you continue on your path to greatness, remember that silence is not only golden, it is powerful. Protect your dreams, guard your vision, and let your actions be the testimony of your purpose. Don't allow the noise of the world to distract you. Keep moving forward. Let your results speak. And remember that sometimes the less you say, the more powerful you become. There's a power in silence that most people fail to understand. In a world where everyone is eager to share their thoughts, plans, and actions, there's a unique strength in choosing to remain silent about your intentions. Silence is often seen as passive or lacking, but in reality, it holds incredible power. It is not about being timid or shy. It is about understanding that not every thought or plan needs to be broadcasted. When you speak less, you conserve your energy. You shield your vision from premature judgment, and you allow your actions to be the true reflection of your intentions. When you remain silent about your goals and aspirations, you protect them from external opinions, which can often serve as a distraction. Many times when we share our plans with others, we invite unwanted commentary or criticism that can derail our progress. People may not understand the depth of your vision or the sacrifices you're willing to make to see it through. The world will offer its opinions, but not all of them will align with your purpose. Number 2, silence allows you to work without the need for validation. It gives you the space to develop your plans in peace, free from the noise of the world. The world around us is constantly talking. It is always busy, always rushing to share its latest news, ideas, or gossip. In the midst of this noise, silence becomes a rare and powerful tool. When you choose not to tell people what you are doing, you remove yourself from the distractions that come with unnecessary chatter. You take back control over what you allow into your mind and heart. Silence gives you the strength to stay focused on what truly matters: your work, your growth, and your vision. Consider the power of stillness in nature. The most profound changes in the world often happen quietly. Think of how the seeds grow in the soil. They don't need to announce their presence. They simply begin their work in silence. Underneath the surface, they're gathering strength. And when the time comes, they break through, revealing the fruits of their labor. Your journey should be no different. And the foundation of your success, the growth of your purpose, should happen quietly without the need for recognition. When you work in silence, you are allowing the process of growth to unfold naturally without interference. Silence is also a form of protection. When you speak about your plans before they are fully formed or before you are ready to act, you expose yourself to the opinions of others. These opinions, often based on their own fears, limitations, or misunderstandings, can influence your decisions. Silence allows you to maintain control over your vision, keeping it intact until the right moment to reveal it. It is in this protected space that your dreams can take root, grow, and flourish without being subjected to the weight of external influences. In every area of life, we are told that communication is key, that we must express ourselves and make our voices heard. But true power comes not from what we say, but from what we do. When you keep your plans to yourself, you save your energy and focus for the real work. Let your results speak for you. Let your actions and achievements be the testimony of your effort. There is a time to speak, but the power often lies in the restraint of silence. It's about knowing when to hold back, to keep your vision private, and to allow your work. When you reveal your plans too early, you risk inviting unnecessary interference. The truth is, people often don't understand the full picture of what you are trying to accomplish, especially when your vision is still in its infancy. Everyone has their own experiences, their own biases, and their own limited perspective. When you open yourself up to the opinions of others too soon, You expose your vision to a range of interpretations that may not align with what you're working toward. What may seem like a well-intentioned suggestion to someone could end up as a distraction that leads you astray. By sharing your plans too early, you allow others to impose their fears and doubts onto you. People who have not walked the same path may look at your dreams and see them as unrealistic or unattainable. They might tell you it's impossible, or that you don't have the resources, the experience, or the support to achieve it. They might not realize that your vision is not just an idea, but something you felt deeply in your heart, something that's been developing over time. But instead of encouraging you, their words can plant seeds of doubt that could affect your belief in your own ability. Interference can come from unexpected places, family, friends, even well-meaning mentors. People who love you may project their own limitations onto you out of fear for your safety, your stability, or your well-being. While their concern comes from a place of care, it can still be limiting. The truth is, your journey is unique. What they may have never experienced in their own lives, you are called to achieve. When you reveal your plans too soon, their doubts become your burdens. They may unintentionally pull you down from the heights you're trying to reach because they can't see what you see. Additionally, by sharing your plans, you open yourself up to the influence of people who may not have your best interests at heart. Not everyone who hears your dreams will support them. Some may feel threatened by your ambition, your growth, or your success. These individuals may try to undermine your efforts or sabotage your progress in subtle ways. They may sow seeds of doubt in your mind or in the minds of others, preventing you from receiving the support you need. The danger of revealing your plans too early is not just the opinions of others, but the potential for negative energy to derail your progress. There's a saying that you should protect your peace, and one of the best ways to do so is by keeping your dreams to yourself until they are ready to be shared with the world. The fewer people you tell, the fewer distractions you will face. When you share your plans prematurely, you risk allowing negative energy, judgment, and unwanted advice to cloud your thinking and stop you from staying on the course. The more people you share your plans with, the more you invite complications into your life. People will question your choices, second-guess your decisions, and weigh in on matters that are none of their business. This can quickly lead to confusion, uncertainty, and a lack of clarity. You need to be able to hear your own thoughts clearly, and when you let others weigh in on your plans too soon, it can drown out your inner voice, the voice that knows what's best for you. Amen. Ultimately, sharing your plans before they are ready can be a hindrance rather than a help. It can slow your momentum, create doubt, and fill your mind with conflicting voices. The truth is, sometimes the best thing you can do for your vision is to keep it to yourself. Protect it, nurture it, and allow it to grow without interference. The world will know what you've accomplished when it's time, but until then, keep your plans to yourself. Let your work speak for you, and let your journey be your testimony. When you choose to keep your plans to yourself, it allows you to maintain a level of focus that would otherwise be difficult to achieve. In a world full of distractions, it is easy to become sidetracked by the opinions, expectations, and demands of others. Every time you share your ambitions, you open the door to external influences. that may divert your attention from the path you've set. The more you talk about your goals, the more likely you are to be pulled in different directions, causing you to lose sight of the one thing that matters most: your purpose. Focus is a powerful force. It is the ability to direct all of your energy, all of your attention toward a single goal. It is the force that allows you to block out the noise and remain committed to your vision, no matter how challenging or uncertain the journey may seem. When you share your plans prematurely, you risk spreading your energy thin. The moment someone asks you about your goals, or the moment you begin explaining your plans to others, a part of your focus is no longer fully dedicated to the work itself. Your mind begins to shift from what you need to do to what others think you should do. This shift weakens your ability to stay clear and committed to the process. Zen. When you keep your plans private, you are in control of where your energy goes. Every thought, every decision, every action is directed at bringing your vision to life. There are no distractions from the opinions and judgments of others. You are free to move forward without the weight of other people's expectations. You don't have to explain yourself. And you certainly don't have to defend your decisions. The silence. This allows you to preserve the mental and emotional energy needed for the work that matters. The focus you maintain will become the foundation of your success. Consider how distractions take their toll. The more you share your plans, the more people will question or offer suggestions. This creates mental clutter. Instead of thinking about your next step, you start thinking about whether you should incorporate someone else's advice or whether your idea is good enough. It creates doubt, and doubt erodes focus. It's easy to get caught up in trying to appease others or take their feedback to heart, especially when it comes from people you respect. But the truth is, not all advice is valuable, and not all feedback will help you grow. Some of it may even hinder your progress by diverting you from the vision that is uniquely yours. So, staying focused requires you to block out everything that does not contribute to your goal. When you don't tell people what you're doing, you create a shield around your purpose. You become less susceptible to the opinions of others and more immersed in the process of turning your dream into reality. With each passing day, you are making progress without the pressure to explain, justify, or gain approval. You are simply moving forward, one step at a time, without the distractions that often accompany external validation. Think about the most successful people in history. Their focus was laser sharp. They didn't waste time explaining their next move or discussing their future plans with others. They had a clear vision, and they dedicated every ounce of their energy to manifesting that vision. Whether it was a scientist, an entrepreneur, or an artist, the most accomplished individuals are those who were able to block out the distractions and focus entirely on the work at hand. They knew that the real work happens in the quiet, in the preparation, and in the execution. Sharing your plans too early divides your focus, while keeping them to yourself allows you to keep that focus intact and channel all your energy into making your dreams come true. Focus is the key to overcoming obstacles. Every challenge you face along the way demands that you stay focused, that you keep your eyes on the goal, and that you don't allow setbacks to divert your attention. If you constantly have to justify your actions or explain your choices to others, you will be pulled in 100 different directions. But when you are focused on your vision, the obstacles become less daunting, the doubts less persuasive, and the challenges less intimidating. Setback. Focus gives you the mental clarity to keep pushing forward, regardless of the obstacles in your path. In the end, keeping your plans to yourself as a way of protecting your focus. It allows you to keep your mind and heart dedicated to what truly matters, free from distractions and the external forces that often slow us down. The more you focus on your vision, the more momentum you build. And with momentum comes progress. The work you do in silence, in the absence of outside influence, will speak for itself when the time is right. The strength you gain from maintaining your focus will be the foundation upon which your success is built. When God gives you a purpose, He doesn't give it to you to share with the world immediately. That purpose, that calling, is personal, and it requires time, preparation, and a deep understanding of the vision He has entrusted to you. You see, purpose is not something that comes to fruition overnight. It is a journey, a process that requires patience, discipline, and sometimes even solitude. Sharing your purpose too soon without the proper preparation can lead to a lack of clarity, confusion, and unnecessary pressure. Preparation is essential to fulfilling your purpose. The plans you have, the dreams you carry are like seeds that need to be nurtured and allowed to grow in their own time. Just as you don't see a tree growing from a seed immediately, the work required to bring your purpose into fruition happens slowly and steadily. If you try to rush that process by telling others what you are doing too soon, you risk placing unnecessary expectations on yourself. You may feel pressure to live up to the image of success others have of you, when in reality you are still in the stage of planting and cultivating. But you are in the apple origin. Be the apple you are and more. Purpose requires careful consideration and the willingness to put in the hard work necessary for growth. When God calls you to do something, it is a personal mandate that requires your full attention and dedication. It's not about impressing others with your ideas or rushing to make it known. It's about focusing on the deep internal work that will prepare you for the manifestation of your vision. The process of preparation is where you build your strength, knowledge, and resilience. It's where you refine your skills and grow your character. During this time, you need to be able to reflect, make mistakes, learn from them, and keep moving forward, without the added pressure of seeking external approval or validation. In the early stages of pursuing your purpose, clarity is essential. You may not yet fully understand how your purpose will unfold, and that's okay. It takes time to hear God's voice clearly and to trust His plan. The more you share your purpose with others, the more likely you are to dilute that clarity. People will offer suggestions, advice, and opinions, and while some of it may be helpful, much of it can confuse you or take you off course. This is not to say that counsel from others is invaluable, but there's a season of solitude and quiet where you must seek God's guidance above all. It's a time when your relationship with your Creator is crucial, and the opinions of others should not cloud that connection. As you prepare for the fulfillment of your purpose, the work you do in private becomes the foundation for everything that will be seen in the future. This is the time to refine your vision, to align your actions with your values, and to lay the groundwork that will support your success. The external world may not understand this stage, but that's okay. The vision God gave you is for you to carry and nurture. It's not for you to explain or justify before it's time. In the quiet, as you prepare and work diligently behind the scenes, you are positioning yourself for success. And when that time comes, when the vision is ready to be revealed, it will be undeniable. The preparation will show itself in your actions, in your character, and in the strength that will carry you through the challenges ahead. If you try to shortcut this process by revealing your purpose too soon, you risk rushing through the most important stage, the preparation. Without preparation, you will not be ready for the challenges that come with fulfilling your purpose. You need to be prepared for the battles, the setbacks, and the sacrifices that will come. The time of preparation is where you build the endurance needed to handle the weight of your purpose. It's in those private moments when no one is watching that your faith is strengthened, your skills are honed, and your commitment to the journey deepens. Purpose is not about a quick rise to the top or seeking instant recognition. It's about a long-term commitment to seeing God's plan unfold in your life. It requires the wisdom to know that there is a season of preparation that must not be rushed. During this season, you must focus on what God is doing in your life, even if no one else understands or sees it. God is preparing you, molding you, and building you for what lies ahead. It's a quiet process, a sacred process, and one that demands patience and faith. The moment will come when you are ready to step into the fullness of your purpose. But that moment will be far more impactful when it is built on a solid foundation of preparation. When you share your plans with others, you open yourself up to not only the positive, but also the negative reactions that people may have. It's important to recognize that not everyone around you will understand your vision, and some may even try to sabotage your efforts. There is a power in silence, in keeping your intentions to yourself, because when you share your dreams too early, you invite both criticism and unwarranted scrutiny. In today's world, it's easy for people to express their doubts, fears, and insecurities, and these negative energies can become a serious distraction. Often, their words and actions are born out of their own limitations, not from a place of genuine concern for your success. People may criticize your ideas simply because they don't have the capacity to envision what you see. Their personal experiences, their own fears, and their struggles might cloud their judgment. They might not understand why you're doing what you're doing. And instead of supporting you, they might try to discourage you, either directly or indirectly. This can manifest in subtle ways. A remark, a question, or even a gesture of disbelief. While it might seem harmless, these criticisms can slowly erode your confidence, shaking your belief in the vision God has given you. The more you share, the more you're likely to encounter people who will challenge your direction, not out of malice, but simply because they cannot grasp the potential of your dream. The danger in sharing too much too soon is that these negative responses can affect your mental and emotional state. Every piece of criticism, every word of doubt can create a ripple effect in your mind. You may begin to question your decisions, your capabilities, and even the worthiness of your dream. This is particularly dangerous because it shifts your focus from the work at hand to defending your vision. Instead of spending time building and growing, you start to spend time explaining, justifying, and trying to win the approval of others. The result is that you end up expending energy on unnecessary battles, leaving little energy for what truly matters: the pursuit of your purpose. Additionally, when people don't understand your journey, they may feel compelled to give unsolicited advice. Sometimes this advice can be well-meaning, but it may not align with your vision. Every piece of advice you receive can alter the course of your actions, whether you realize it or not. It's important to remember that not all advice is valuable. People who haven't walked the same path you're on cannot possibly know all the nuances and the challenges of your journey. And then their advice is often based on their own experiences. And while it may work for them, it may not work for you. When you share your plans too early, you risk allowing other people's perspectives to overshadow your own intuition and understanding of what you need to do. There is also a spiritual aspect to keeping your plans private. Sharing too much too soon can expose your vision to spiritual opposition. Not everyone in your life has the same spiritual understanding or the same level of belief in your purpose. Sometimes, when you share your dreams with the wrong people, it can attract negative energy or even spiritual forces that seek to thwart your progress. You might find yourself facing unexpected obstacles, distractions, or even feelings of doubt that weren't there before. These forces often prey on the vulnerability that comes when you expose your plans to the world before they're ready to be revealed. The more you reveal your plans, the more you create opportunities for emotional manipulation. There are people in your life who may pretend to be supportive, but deep down, they may wish to control your actions. They might try to make you feel guilty for pursuing your dreams, or manipulate your choices to serve their own interests. Keeping your plans to yourself helps you avoid these emotional games, ensuring that you stay in control of your decisions. Therefore, keeping your plans private shields you from unnecessary negativity. It allows you to protect your energy and focus solely on your work. The work that you are doing in silence is far more powerful than anything you could explain to someone who may not fully understand the depth of your vision. When the time is right, your success will speak for itself. The less you share in the early stages, the more you protect your progress from those who may try to derail it, intentionally or unintentionally. By keeping your plans close to your chest, you maintain control over your journey, and you can pursue your purpose with greater clarity, strength, and determination. Evil. When you keep your plans to yourself, you maintain the integrity of your vision. The moment you start sharing too much, you run the risk of allowing others to impose their ideas, beliefs, and expectations onto your path. Every time someone hears your vision, they begin to form opinions based on their own experiences, their own worldview, and sometimes their own insecurities. People will offer suggestions, solutions, and even challenges, but many of these will not align with the core of your purpose. It's important to recognize that your vision was given to you, not to them. It is uniquely yours, and you are the one entrusted with the responsibility to bring it to life. The more you share, the more you invite external forces to influence the purity of that vision In a world filled with distractions and noise, it can be incredibly difficult to stay focused. Everyone has something to say. And in the age of social media and constant communication, it can feel like everyone wants a piece of your dream. But not every piece of advice is helpful. Not every comment is constructive. When you share your plans too early, you open yourself up to all kinds of opinions, some of which may be downright damaging. The truth is, many people will not understand why you're doing what you're doing, and they may not share your level of faith or belief in the outcome. Some will tell you it's impossible, others will question your motives, and some may even laugh or mock your aspirations. These voices, if allowed too much influence, can drown out your own conviction and weaken your resolve. The integrity of your vision lies in your ability to protect it from outside noise. When you keep your plans private, you create a space of clarity where you can hear your own thoughts and tune into God's guidance. In the absence of external distractions, you can be sure that the steps you're taking are in alignment with your true purpose. The moment you start letting others in on your plans, you begin to open the door for doubt and fear. You may feel pressure to justify your actions or explain the reasoning behind your decisions. But when your vision is under attack or even under scrutiny, it can make it harder to stay true to the path that God has set for you. It's easy to lose focus when you're constantly trying to please everyone or explain yourself. A journey toward fulfilling your purpose requires unwavering faith. Faith is not something that can be easily swayed by the opinions of others. When you believe in your vision, when you trust that it has been planted within you by a higher power, there is a sense of security that comes with it. You don't need to defend your dream to anyone because you know that it was designed specifically for you. But this kind of unwavering faith is fragile, especially in the early stages. The more you share, the more likely it is that someone will question your vision or cause you to second guess yourself. Keeping your plans private allows you to protect that faith and fortify it with the work that you are doing in silence. There is also a temptation to seek validation when you reveal your plans. It's a natural human desire to want others to understand and appreciate your vision. But validation can be a double-edged sword. Seeking it from others can quickly turn into a cycle of dependence, where your sense of self-worth is tied to their approval. If you base your success on how others perceive it, you risk compromising your authenticity. Keeping your plans to yourself protects you from seeking validation that can divert your focus away from the true purpose behind your actions. The reality is your vision may not make sense to anyone else, and that's okay. Not every idea is meant to be understood by others at first. The people around you may be trapped in their own limitations and fear, and they may not have the capacity to see what you see. This is why it's so important to protect the integrity of your vision by not sharing it too early. There's a time for public revelation, a time when the plan is fully formed and ready to be launched. But that time is not when it's still in its infancy, not when it's still taking shape and needs to be nurtured. When you share too much too soon, you may also risk oversaturating the idea. The excitement that comes from telling others can sometimes dilute the original enthusiasm you had for it. There is something sacred about keeping your purpose close to your heart during the early stages. It keeps the dream alive in its purest form, free from the opinions and judgments of others. As you nurture that vision, you also strengthen your ability to stand firm in it, even when faced with opposition. The integrity of your vision is what will carry you through the challenges. The more you protect it from the world, the more you allow it to grow and evolve without the interference of external forces. It's easy to get caught up in trying to convince others of the value of your ideas, but the truth is, you don't need anyone else's approval to move forward. What you need is the courage to protect your vision, to keep it sacred and undiluted until the time comes for it to stand on its own. Only then, when it's fully formed and ready, will it have the strength to withstand the scrutiny of others. And when it's finally revealed, it will stand as a testament to the faith, dedication, and protection you gave it during the quiet, hidden stages of its growth. When you keep your plans to yourself, you are, in essence, creating space for your dreams to grow without the influence of external judgment. The reality is, not everyone will be able to handle or even understand the magnitude of your aspirations. Dreams and visions are deeply personal, and they reflect not only your desires, but also your unique purpose and calling. There's a wisdom in protecting them, especially in the early stages, because revealing them too soon can expose them to criticism, ridicule, and doubt. Most people, especially those who haven't dared to dream big themselves, are quick to project their own fears and insecurities onto others. They might try to tear down your dream or convince you that it's unrealistic, not because they don't care, but because they are limited by their own experiences and beliefs. When you are just starting out, your vision is fragile. It's in its infancy, and it hasn't yet been fully developed. You have an idea of where you want to go, but it's not yet clear how everything will unfold. In this stage, you don't need to hear about all the reasons why your idea might not work or how others have failed in similar endeavors. These doubts can seep into your mind and cause you to question your own abilities, even if you initially felt confident in your path. There's power in keeping your plans to yourself, because it allows you to stay focused on nurturing the dream rather than defending it against criticism. When you share your plans too early, you invite a stream of opinions that are often based on fear rather than wisdom. And this can become a distraction that holds you back. When you hold your plans in silence, you also protect yourself from unnecessary emotional strain. You see, when you share your vision, especially with people who are not aligned with it, you expose yourself to their emotional responses. Some may feel threatened, some may feel envious, and some may even try to manipulate the situation to their advantage. These emotional reactions can be draining, taking away the energy you need to continue working on your goal. The constant need to explain or justify your actions can create a level of emotional turbulence that prevents you from staying focused on the real work at hand. Keeping your plans private allows you to conserve your emotional energy, giving you the peace of mind to think clearly and act decisively. This emotional protection extends to safeguarding your own mental state as well. When you share your dreams too early, you open yourself up to the expectations of others. People might ask when you're going to make things happen, or they might want to know all the details of your plan. While their questions might be innocent, they create pressure that you don't need. The longer you delay revealing your plans, the more you can avoid that pressure and allow your idea to develop at its own pace in its own time. Too many outside expectations can cloud your judgment and take you off course. When you keep your plans to yourself, you set your own timeline. You move at your own pace, and you aren't bound by the clock that others want to place on you. The value of privacy in your journey cannot be overstated. By keeping your plans to yourself, you allow them to grow organically, without the interference of people who might not have the right understanding or who are simply not in the same space as you. You may not need everyone's opinion, nor should you seek validation from others. Your dreams are not for them to decide. They are for you to fulfill. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking approval, of wanting others to understand your vision and share in your excitement. But you must remember that your vision is your own, and not everyone is meant to walk this path with you. You may find that some people, once you begin to pursue your dreams, will fall away, either because they don't understand your path or because they feel uncomfortable with your growth. This is a natural part of the process, and it's okay. Not everyone is meant to come along for the ride. By keeping your plans to yourself, you allow yourself the freedom to move forward without feeling tied down by others' opinions or expectations. Quote, there's also a divine aspect to keeping your plans private. Sometimes when God has given you a vision, it's meant to be worked out between you and Him before it is revealed to others. The journey of fulfilling that vision is often about growing in faith, patience, and perseverance. When you reveal your plans too soon, you might inadvertently short-circuit the process of personal growth that needs to happen first. You need time to become the person who can handle the responsibility that comes with the realization of your dream. If you rush into sharing it with others, you might not be fully prepared for the challenges and responsibilities that come with it. By waiting for the right moment to reveal your plans, you give yourself the opportunity to develop the strength, wisdom, and courage necessary to bring the dream to life. Keeping your plans to yourself also allows you to avoid the temptation of comparison. The world is full of distractions, and it's easy to look at others who are on a similar path and feel as though you are falling behind. When you share your plans prematurely, you may be tempted to compare your progress with others, or you might find yourself competing with people who are not even in your field. This comparison can be discouraging, and it often leads to feelings of inadequacy or self-doubt. But when you keep your plans to yourself, you stay focused on your own journey. You don't waste time worrying about what others are doing or how fast they are moving. You stay centered in your own vision, and you trust that your time will come. By avoiding unnecessary distractions, you allow your path to unfold at its own pace, without the pressures of comparison. Ultimately, the power of keeping your plans to yourself is in the protection it offers you. Protection of your vision, your emotional energy, your mental clarity, and your divine purpose. When you keep your plans private, you create the space you need to grow, to make mistakes, to learn, and to succeed without the weight of external pressure. It's in this space that your dreams can truly flourish. When you choose to keep your plans to yourself, you shield your journey from unnecessary interference. Not everyone is capable of understanding your vision, and some might not even try to understand it. People often approach life through the lens of their own experiences, fears, and biases. They may be unable to comprehend your dream simply because they have never dared to dream that big themselves. Many people are so caught up in their own limitations, doubts, and struggles that they cannot see the potential in someone else's vision. When you share your plans prematurely, you risk facing discouragement, doubt, and sometimes outright negativity. It's not that they mean to harm you, but their lack of understanding can cause them to speak words that create seeds of doubt in your own mind. When you keep your plans to yourself, you create a barrier between your dream and the external world. This barrier acts as a shield, protecting your vision from being overly influenced by others' fears, doubts, and insecurities. It allows you to stay grounded in your belief, undistracted by the noise of others. You can stay true to your path without being pulled in different directions. The more you protect your vision, the more you create an environment where it can flourish independently of outside opinions and judgments. It also provides you with the space to truly grow in your belief in yourself and in your mission. The more you keep your plans to yourself, the more you strengthen your own internal compass, and the clearer your vision becomes. Furthermore, keeping your plans private allows you to be more selective about when and how you share them. There is a time to reveal your dreams to the world, but that time is not always when the vision is still forming. It is not always when the process is messy or uncertain. There is a time to act in silence, to work behind the scenes, and to let the results speak for themselves. When the time is right, your work will show the world what you've been building in private, and you will have the strength, the confidence, and the experience to back it up. This quiet period of personal development is where the real transformation happens. It's where your character is built, your resolve is tested, and your faith is made stronger. In the end, keeping your plans private isn't about hiding your dreams, it's about protecting them. It's about creating the space you need to nurture them, to develop them, and to build the strength required to see them through to fruition. When you do decide to reveal your dreams to the world, you will do so from a place of confidence, clarity, and strength, knowing that your vision has been solidified and that you have prepared yourself for whatever challenges lie ahead. Until that time comes, guard your vision with everything you have and let it grow in the quiet safety of your heart. When you choose to keep your plans to yourself, you create an environment of focused energy where distractions are minimized. This is not just about protecting your vision from others, it's also about protecting your mental, emotional, and spiritual energy. The moment you begin to share your plans with the wrong people or too many people, you inadvertently invite distractions into your life. The people who live in that state go through their life. These distractions can take many forms: opinions, judgments, questions, doubts, and even well-meaning advice that might derail you from your purpose. In the early stages of pursuing a goal, your energy needs to be fully concentrated on the task at hand, and revealing your plans can spread that energy too thin. You become diverted by the thoughts and reactions of others, and this dispersal of energy can lead to confusion and lack of clarity. You see, when you are clear about your vision and where you're heading, your energy is powerful. But the moment you start sharing your plans with too many people, especially those who are not in alignment with your goals, you risk diluting that clarity. People will offer their perspectives based on their own limitations, which may not have anything to do with your own path. They might not share the same mindset, and as a result, Their input could create an unnecessary cloud of confusion. Yes, when you protect your plans, you can direct all your mental and emotional focus on moving forward without these external disruptions. In many cases, sharing your plans too early can cause you to start second-guessing yourself. You may feel the need to explain and justify your decisions, and this is a drain on your mental and emotional resources. You should not have to convince others that your dream is worthy, especially when it's still in its infancy. The more you focus on explaining your journey to others, the less energy you have to work on the actual realization of your dreams. It's a cycle that can lead to exhaustion, self-doubt, and eventual stagnation. The energy that should be going into making progress toward your goal is instead being spent on defending it or trying to get others on board. Keeping your plans private eliminates this unnecessary energy drain.